It's Hillbillies in the Bush, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about spoons and spoon carving. I'll be doing a video on carving some of these spoons that you see out here. First of all, spoons been around probably thousands of years. People had to have a way besides eating with fingers, more civilized way of eating, I should say. So they developed a spoon, and the spoon is probably been developed, redeveloped, and redesigned and everything else until modern day spoons, which is something like this. This is just a modern day tablespoon. And what I tried to do was copy this because I see a lot of spoons out there people are carving. Some of them are beautiful. In fact, I have two over here that my buddy's carved. Done a great job on them. They're beautiful spoons. There's different materials to carve your spoons out of, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that today. And the puppies are in there aggravating each other. Some of the spoons that I've carved, this one here is out of cherry. I carved this one here to stir a big stock pot. We have the big stainless steel stock pots that we use to make stuff in. And I didn't have the plastic spoons and the stuff you buy in the stores. I never did see a big one like this, but this was made to get down in and stir chili and beans and whatever we got in a big stock pot. This is made out of cherry. It's probably not been sanded down enough, but just to give you an idea, it's a nice big one. This one here is made out of birch. And as you can see, it's kind of a thin profile. It's not been finished down either. You can see the whittling marks on it. But this one's made out of birch. This one here is made out of oak. And I've seen a guy on a YouTube video. He said, how's come I seen them guys carving spoons, they never carved it out of if you split a chunk of oak or a piece of wood and you see a knot come in it and it already has a cradle. And he said, I wonder why guys never carved anything out of that. Well, one of the reasons, here was carved out of a knot like that. This is the one that I started up in the cave and I think I showed on the video. But the reason is, in this knot part area where the knot was and it dished out, the grain dished out, I basically tried to follow the grain on it. It is real hard to carve. A knot is like probably a burl that a buddy of mine, Mike Barton, Bushcraft Bartons, go check their channel out, guys. Awesome channel. He shows carving a spoon out of a burl, which beautiful spoon. It's well worth the time to carve it, I'm sure. He probably don't want to carve many more of them, but at least to have one that beautiful and everything, it's a beautiful spoon. You guys got to go check it out. I'll put the links down below. But this one, like I said, is made out of oak. It's pretty deep. I don't know, I just basically played around with it one night. This one here is out of birch as well. And if you'll notice, that is the heart that you see. Notice how crooked it is. I left the heart right in there and I carved it right with the heart. And this one's birch, which we have river birch around here. We don't have the, gray birches and stuff that they have up north. But I never did finish it down either. I just roughed it out. This one's another one out of birch. And it's got a thin, flat profile, which fits pretty good in your mouth. This one here is made out of Osage orange. This is the last one I made. It needs another coat of oil on it. But as you can see, it's got a beautiful grain to it. And nice and thin, paper thin practically on that, and very strong. Osage orange is one of the toughest wood. It is the toughest wood we have here in southern Ohio. I think next is probably locust of some sort, but the Osage orange is without a doubt the toughest wood we have, and you can get real thin with it. It's harder to carve, and you don't want to start out carving with Osage orange because it takes a lot of pressure and a lot of force to get them cuts into that, and you can really slip easy on it. Here's another one out of Osage orange, kind of a different design. Just playing around, as you can see the grain of the wood there. But here's one out of, this one here is out of birch, another thin profile. Here's another one out of birch. I just had a chunk of a birch limb that I started carving stuff out. This is one I made up in a cave out of oak. This is a chunk of oak that basically, stirring coals around stuff in the fire. That's why it's blackened. This one's out of cherry. These are some of the earlier ones I did that were kind of small. Just to give you an idea, you know. Yep, not on that one. That one dropped off the floor. Just to give you an idea how small they are. This one's out of cherry as well. This one here, I watched a guy called Kenneth Cram, and he showed making some spoons out of seashells. We have the Ohio River here real close, but we don't have, or I've not seen very many big shells there. What we have are like the mussels, the little tiny mussels, and I believe it's illegal to collect those. If I read that law right around here, it's illegal to pick them up. I don't know why. If they're a shell, I don't know, you know, whatever was using it ain't using it now. So, but anyway, he showed making one out of a seashell. My grandfather went down to Florida and different places, and he had a small collection of seashells, and this is, I can't remember what this seashell is called, but as you can see, it's a nice shell. I'm sure some of you guys will know what kind of shell this is, but it was made, this is birch, and this is a nature's glue, pine pitch, a little bit of dried grasses chopped up and cooked up and made into a glue. And I can boil water and stir with this without it loosening that up. This might get just a tiny bit soft after 30 seconds or a minute of stirring boiling hot water, but it will not loosen up, which is what you want for a good glue. But that's one I watched him do and thought, that's pretty cool, I'm going to try that. And as you can see, it didn't turn out too bad. I mean, it's a pretty nice spoon. Here's another one that I carried quite a while. This one's Osage orange as well. I like the Osage orange because it's very tough and durable. And it leaves a smooth finish because it is tough. The grain's tighter in it. You can sand it with some really fine grit and get a real smooth finish on it. Here's one I carved out of spalted maple, or actually it's a piece of driftwood down along the Ohio River. It was maple driftwood, and I carved it out down there. Here's two that a buddy of mine carved, and then it's more a traditional spoon that you guys see. He was playing around trying it. These are the only two spoons I believe he's carved, and for his first two spoons he did an excellent job on them. Here's one that he made. Like I say, another beautiful spoon. He hasn't put any oil on these yet. I was going to do it, but I didn't know if he were done. He's doing a little carving and stuff like that on them to try and, you know, just give them a little personal touch. This one here is a beautiful spoon. And but anyway, just to show you guys some of the spoons I carved and a buddy of mine made, and just to get started on spoon carving and stuff. My idea of a good spoon would be one like this that's got a little bit of depth to it, but thin enough to fit in your mouth right. It actually would mimic an actual tablespoon. As you can see, it's actually a little deeper than a true tablespoon, but it's nice and thin. I made it a little bit long to get down in our 16 centimeter zebra can, so we can get down in there and stir it. And but that's probably my favorite. This is the one I carry. This one's really pretty because of the way the grain showed up right there in the bowl, and kind of goofy looking on the handle. But I like that one real well. But anyway, I'm going to do a video on carving spoons, and just wanted to run this one by you guys and let you see some of them that I've carved. I prefer a flatter profile, sort of like what you would have in your kitchen drawer. It just fits better in the mouth, in my opinion. Of course, you know, to each his own. Each person has their own way of doing things. But I'm going to do a video. It probably won't be out of Osage orange. It'll probably be out of birch, because birch is real easy to carve. You can carve it real quick, or you can after you've made a few of them. That birch or some pine or something like that would be something that I would recommend people to start out with, because it is a softer wood. You can get the hang of using the knife without slipping, you know, off a hard chunk and getting yourself. Luckily, knock on wood, but I've only been cut once with my spoon knife or crook knife, and it was just playing around with it, looking at it when I first got it, and it slipped and I caught it and the point jabbed me and it made a little dot of blood. Didn't cut me bad or anything else. I've had a few close calls of slipping and coming real close, you know, this oak and Osage orange is so tough. I mean, you've got to really put some pressure to get any kind of a curl out of it, or to remove any kind of material. But like I say, I'm going to be doing a video. I've been asked to do this for quite a while now. I'm kind of put it off until I made a few so that I could get it down pat, so that I could show you real quick how to do it. It probably won't be a full length. You'll probably see segments of it, because to carve a spoon, for instance, this one here out of Osage orange took probably an hour and 15 minutes. To carve this spoon out, or say this spoon out, which is comparable to the same size, take roughly maybe half hour at that. Once you know what you're doing, you can really hog the material off, and you can get it to where you can black carve one out if you have soft material relatively quick. Excuse me. This one here, you probably won't be able to see it, but it's split there on the ends, why I never went ahead and finished it. But it's also got a thin spot in it that you can see through it. You can't do that now, but but anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on the spoons, and I really like this one here. Ken, I appreciate you showing that on your video. That was pretty awesome. And he's got quite a few of these little shell spoons that he made. But I'm going to be doing a video on carving some spoons here for long. Just wanted to give you a rundown on some of the ones that I've carved, and just to show you, that I've carved out quite a few playing around just to try and get the hang of the knife and everything. And all of these I really like. Some of them I finished down, some I didn't. I probably won't. I don't know. I may eventually, but I'm just going to sign off on this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment or subscribe, whatever you like to do. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.